Hey folks, Gardner here. Well, today is day 32 of the Achilles tendon surgery recovery. 32 days since we had surgery on the Achilles tendon on my right foot here. Still in the boot. Although I've been taking the boot off, and actually the past couple days I've been putting on my other tennis shoe, my running shoe, and being able to walk a little bit. But today I took out the last heel lift in the boot, so there's no more heel lifts in the boot. And at first I could definitely feel some stretch in that tendon area. Also, I'm kind of thinking it might be the actual incision, that has a little discomfort or whatever. Feels like it's stretching, but the tendon as well. So that's going to get a stretch. But that's what we want. We want to start stretching that tendon back towards neutral or 90 degrees, and and get on to our road to recovery, because I have to start physiotherapy and start stretching and strengthening the calf and everything else. So I'm excited about that, folks. It feels really good. It feels like my healing and my experience with a completely ruptured Achilles tendon and surgical repair is going really well. And this is a neighborhood park. This used to be a golf course in the neighborhood here, and they kind of let it go back. They opened it to the public, and they let it go back to kind of natural, and letting it be like a park, basically a walking path type of park. And it's really wonderful. A lot of joggers come here, and walkers, and bikers, and everything. It's just really becoming a really nice naturalistic area. And a part of that program of turning it back into a naturalistic environment is they've made an effort to plant some trees, a lot of trees. And this is one patch that we can see right here, and there's just multiple patches throughout this entire park. I mean, probably hundreds and hundreds of trees. And they basically plant very small seedlings, and they use these these plastic tubes or whatever, and they're secured with a wooden stake and a zip tie and everything. And that's mainly to keep the deer from browsing, I think, and eating the saplings, and not allowing them to grow. And for the most part, if it's done right, it works pretty well. I've seen some very successful plantings using the tube. The only problem I see with these tubes is, some patches like this one, I can see are fairly successful, and I think they're fairly new, obviously. And here is an example of a redbud tree, just getting out of the top of the tube. But this guy should grow into a beautiful tree. And I'm seeing off in the distance, I see some locust trees, I see some maple trees, some sycamore trees. This here redbud looks like that could be a pear tree, I'm not sure. But this particular patch is doing okay. It's doing okay. It's nice to see at least some trees coming up, and 20%, I'll take it. Because I will show you, we'll go down the way here, and there are some huge patches that I can tell have been in there for years and years. Not one single tree coming out of hundreds of tubes. I mean, that's like 0% success rate. That's not worth the effort and the money that was spent on planting all these trees. Very discouraging, to see, a beautiful natural area. And I'll show you here but a beautiful natural area, and then all you see are empty plastic tubes. That's defeating the purpose, folks, if you ask me. So at least here, you know, eventually we will get some trees. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the tubes, to be quite honest with you. I don't think anything is going to happen with them. They're probably going to stay here, you know, indefinitely. I know as the trees grow, when they get bigger and the trunks start getting bigger, they will kind of break out of the tubes, and the tubes will kind of start falling on the ground or laying on the ground. And I don't know, I've seen some areas where there were really successful tree plantings, and they actually must have come back and removed all the tubes because there were no more tubes to be seen. Okay, folks, well, this is what I'm talking about right here. I mean, this is a huge patch of trees, or what is supposed to be trees. But as far as I can see, there's not a single tree growing in any of these tubes. Not a single one. And oh my goodness. I think most people just walk past it and don't even think anything about it, that this is supposed to be trees. Or maybe they just think, well, I guess trees are coming someday. But I think these tubes have been in here for quite a while now, maybe years, maybe 4 or 5 years. And there is just not a single thing growing in them. And so anyway, but I have a plan. I have a plan, folks, and this is gonna sound crazy, but instead of just griping about it and complaining about it and, you know, having a negative impression or whatever whenever I come to the park, I am gonna maybe try to do something about it. And so this is my plan. This morning I raked up my yard. I have a redbud tree, and it drops all of these little seed pods, and they start popping up all over my yard. I mean, like weeds. And I've let a couple of them grow, and they grow into beautiful trees. And they are just, they're a Maryland native. They're really one of my absolute favorite trees for springtime. They're just covered with purple flowers, and then they have beautiful large heart-shaped leaves. And they're a medium-sized tree. You know, they're not like a big giant maple tree, but they're kind of medium-sized, but they can get fairly big. And just a really nice tree. And so anyway, I have all of these seed pods, and my plan, somehow, little by little, coming to this park and rehabilitating myself, you know, with this here Achilles tendon injury. I got my backpack, I got a whole bag of these seed pods. I'm gonna drop a seed pod in every tube and maybe a scoop of soil. And I know it's a long-term, ambitious type of project, so we'll have to keep checking on it. You know, maybe in a year from now, come back and check it and see, you know, if the seed actually germinates and something starts growing. You know, we'll at least have some hope. And then you never know, 3 to 5 years down the road, we might have some actual trees in here, because I honestly don't think that, you know, the city or the county or, you know, whoever's responsible for planting all these trees, I don't think they're coming back to do anything. You know, I mean, they would have to remove all the tubes for one thing, and that would be a lot of work, and I don't see them doing that. And then they would have to replace them with new trees. And maybe someday, you know, 10 years down the road or something, who knows? But I'm gonna just start my own little project. And I'm gonna try to, you know, diversify, not just fields and fields of redbud trees. As you saw up there, there is a ginkgo tree growing, and it's full of it's a female ginkgo, so it's full of the pods, the seed pods for the ginkgo trees. So I'm thinking I'll collect a whole bunch of those seed pods and sprinkle them in here and just have big, beautiful ginkgo trees. That's a powerful tree. Beautiful yellow fall foliage, and that would just look wonderful with the redbud trees. So, and I may get some other seeds, you know, maples and, you know, whatever I can find, and just start putting seeds in there and see if we can't get a nice little forest of trees growing, folks, because this right now just reminds me of a cemetery. I think, you know, maybe like Arlington Cemetery or something. I mean, everything is perfectly spaced, and oh my gosh, it doesn't scream out to me, you know, natural, wild, naturalistic area. It's nothing but plastic tubes, and it drives me crazy. If they actually had trees growing out of them, that'd be one thing, but they are empty, and I mean empty. And so that's it, folks. That's our little project that we're going to embark on, and very ambitious. And one thing I am going to do is take a black Sharpie, and I'm going to put like an R, you know, for red bud, or a G for ginkgo tree, or an M for maple. You know, just mark the tubes that I've done, and maybe even put a 24, you know, a date for the year when I did it. And we're gonna have to keep an eye on this and keep checking back on this over the next few years, folks. This is a long-term project, much longer project, I think, than my Achilles tendon surgery recovery journey. I'm hoping that project's going to be done in the next 6 months or so. You know, by springtime, I'm hoping I'm going to be, you know, back on my feet, you know, fully recovered. That's ambitious. 6 months. That's pretty ambitious. But I think I'll be in good shape in 6 months, and I'm going to put in the work and the time and the effort and the physical therapy and everything to try to get there. I have to get there, you know, come springtime. So, yep, that's what we're going to try. So in the meantime, we're going to plant hundreds and hundreds of trees, folks. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining me here at the Artistic Gardener on the Achilles tendon repair surgery journey, day 32, and day 1 of our tree planting journey. Because we are on a tree planting journey, folks. We're trying to plant thousands of trees. Okay, there you go. It's a start. Maybe 10 ginkgo trees and 30 redbud trees. So, got a couple rows, and we got a few more to go, folks. So stay tuned. Hey, folks. Welcome back. Gardener here. We're just at the park again. And, well, our little tree planting adventure or idea I believe is going to be unnecessary. I was here, a few weeks ago, and I actually ran into a guy here. He was going around and checking every single tube and putting paint on the ones that, had no trees, that weren't viable. So all of these are empty, and so he told me that crews are going to be coming back and replanting everything that's empty. I mean, here's a successful one. This is looks to be a sycamore tree. But as we discussed previously, there's a lot of unsuccessful ones, and I noticed that some are painted orange, some are painted blue, there's a few painted yellow, and I don't know what that means, but it was interesting. He told me that they plant 25 acres of trees in 3 days. That's a tremendous amount of trees. I mean, there are thousands. And that guy, he must have been here all day long checking all these tubes, because it goes all over. And so, so maybe they'll be coming back and, planting a whole nother round of trees. And hopefully they'll be much more successful this time, especially depending on, what time of year they're planted in. And, if it's now going into the fall, they're going to get moisture, and they're not going to have the summer drought and the summer heat to compete. And they should be pretty successful. And he also told me that there are, they go for about 25 different varieties of trees. So a really nice variety. I mean, I've seen myself red buds, sycamores, maples, oaks. I have noticed that they really do have a nice variety. So, just have to be a little patient, I guess. Nothing happens overnight. And the ducks, they want us to be a little patient. But I mean, I hate, just looking and seeing all the tubes. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of tubes, and they're not going to go away anytime soon. I mean, they're going to have to let the trees grow and grow and grow, and eventually they break out of the tubes, and I guess maybe eventually they come and clean it up. But 9 times out of 10, you're still looking at the plastic tubes for years and years. But if the trees get going, then eventually when they get thick enough, then you don't see the tubes so much. We'll see. Trees are good. I mean, I don't know. There's lots of big, beautiful trees around here. I mean, this used to be a golf course. And, I like the open vistas, even, let them go back to like a meadow, a naturalistic environment. A lot of trees will propagate over that way. There's a bunch of sweet gum trees, saplings that are coming up, and they'll propagate themselves. But so that was my tree planting escapades, and we're gonna put those on hold for now and let the let the folks that plant the trees do their thing, and that'll be good. And it's because this is a park, this is kind of a county type of park, so it gets a lot of traffic, so they have their eye on this, and so they're gonna have to make it right. I see other areas, farms where they've come in and planted a whole low-lying area, and zero success, and 10 years later they're not coming back. They're just tubes. and that's a shame. But anyway, and as far as you know, the Achilles tendon recovery, you know, of course, this is part of my rehab, my therapy. Is coming out to this park and walking this park almost every day, and other places, other parks, and also hiking in the woods. And so the recovery is going pretty well, and I'm doing exercises every day, you know, heel lifts and just, you know, resistance band training and wall squats and just, I don't know, all kinds of exercises, stretching, that sort of thing. And you know, it's feeling pretty good. I'm starting to work it more now. You know, I mean, I feel like it's healed pretty well and it's pretty strong, but it needs to be worked. And as I'm working it, as I'm hiking farther and doing more strength training, exercise, that sort of thing, I'm starting to feel that tendon. I mean, it's starting to get sore, and I start, you know, really feeling it. And so long way from being fully recovered. And but anyway, yep, the Achilles tendon is doing pretty good. And I'm actually gonna start back to work a little bit next week. I got a job for a couple days, kind of cleaning up some leaves and you know, cleaning up a property. And I got a guy that's gonna help me, so it won't be just me, because I'm not sure how well this tendon is gonna handle, you know, kind of, you know, getting back into the landscaping and gardening again. So just have to kind of take it as it comes and see how it goes. And but yeah, we got to get back to work somewhat. Get a couple jobs in. Hopefully after that one I got another job lined up, and I'd like to get that one under wraps before, you know, winter sets in. So yeah, the Achilles tendon recovery and the tree planting escapades, and we even had some pizza making in there, which was fun. I invited all my customers over and make them pizza, and oh, it was really fun. And a lot of folks were very generous, really, and kind of helped me out, you know, in my little time of need here, because yeah, it's been a physical journey, but financially it's been a little rough as well. So, you know, just found myself in a, you know, kind of a time of need, and some folks have definitely helped me out, and just really humbled by that and grateful for that. So anyway, folks, thank you for coming along. It's been a little while since I put out a video, and you know, see what else we can come up with. But I do appreciate you coming along, and you know, we'll get back into doing something. But all right, folks, well, have a good one, and we'll see you again next time. All right, take care. Bye-bye.